I'm back. The title of this video is Tips and Tricks from Super Mario 3D World. Now, it's going to be a two-parter. The first part, I'm going to cover the non-spoiler tips and tricks, and the second part will be the spoiler tips and tricks. So, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the second part of this video. I'm going to have a cut, so you'll know that it's the second part with spoilers. So, I don't want any comments in the comment section. You spoiled it for me, you bastard! I'm just, just trying to help people out. Basically, these are just 5 tips and tricks just to generally help you throughout the game. You can use this into the in-game part of the game, but I've discovered it helps me to play the game. First, and also, in my opinion, one of the most important tips, know the stats, okay? Each character has their own strengths and weaknesses, but know their stats, okay? And I don't just mean their physical characteristics that make them differently from each other, but know, how they behave, how they handle. Mario is, as we all know, the all-arounder. He's got, he's Mr. All-Arounder. Ironically, Mario isn't as fast as his brother Luigi, but he's got more control. His jump isn't as high as Luigi, but he's got more control. He can't jump as far or as high, but like I said, he's got more control in how things are going. So if you had to categorize Mario, he's Mr. Control. He can do everything pretty well, but he's not maxed out in any particular stat. His jump isn't the best, his speed isn't the best, his jump distance isn't the best, his reach isn't the best. He's just control. He's the middle of the ground. He can do a little bit of everything. He can do everything pretty well. Not the best, but pretty well. Next, Luigi. Luigi is faster than Mario, but what he gains in speed, he loses in control. Luigi's flutter jump gives him the highest jump in the game, but he loses control. Trying to stop Luigi once he gets a good head of steam going is difficult. I found myself falling off ledges in this game playing as Luigi because his landings and his stopping is a little bit slippery with Luigi. So keep that in mind when using him. But his flutter jump, his high jump, and how his fluttery jump gives him a real edge when it comes to hitting the top of the flagpole, so that helps. Peach is she has the longest jump technically speaking, because she has that float thing going on, which gives her a real edge in in floating over obstacles and the like. Now the downside about all of this is all of her other stats kind of stink. Her speed is terrible. Her speed is terrible. Her jump isn't very high. It's higher than Toad's, who I'll be getting to next, but, not nearly as high as Mario or Luigi's. To make up for this, and her speed, even with the cat suit, which the cat suit increases everyone's running speed, but even with the cat suit, her speed is terrible. So if you're facing bosses that require you to dodge out of the way quickly, like the bouncing bubbly clown dude who creates, causes these weird shadow bubbles things to create this huge body and bounces around, you will have a difficult time with Peach. Toad is, initially I didn't like him, but Toad is fast. With the cat suit, he's greased lightning. And he has really excellent control. He stops on a dime with his insane speed. To make up for this, getting up to his top speed takes a little bit longer than the other characters, but once he reaches it, Toad is a beast in terms of speed. Now, Toad's Toad's jump is kind of sad. The distance he can go is kind of ridiculous. But I give a caveat to his speed, his jump, and all that other stuff, is because basically, yeah, his jump doesn't seem that far, but if you get him up to top speed and then he jumps, he has a very long jump distance. Okay. And, you know, his speed can augment a lot of things. He can dodge attacks that other characters would be floundering with. And so basically, Toad is great for bosses that you need speed in order to defeat. He is the speed run character. And that makes him pretty good. Now, here are my other 4 tips. Number 1, the cat suit is invaluable for getting, for gold flagging the goalposts in this game. It really helps. Plus, the cat suit is great for fighting. I just advise that you always have a cat suit. If not your primary power-up, what you're wearing, then in your backup. Excellent. Number 3. The boomerang suit is, or boomerang flower power-up, is very useful for getting hard-to-reach items. So, you know, for those levels where you might have to get a gold star or a stamp, if you find the jump too difficult, use the boomerang suit. Go back to a level that has a lot of them, get one, complete the level, use the boomerang. It really helps, okay? Number 4. The Tanuki suit is not quite as great as some people would say, but it gets the job done, okay? The Tanuki suit gets the job done. Is it perfect? No, but it gets the job done. The Tanuki suit in the hands of Mario, Luigi, or Toad is pretty good for extending your jump. But for Peach, she can cover a lot of distance because she floats for a little while, then she does that flutter, slow, kind of fall down thing, which works very well. The Tanuki suit makes getting the flag post on certain levels very easy, and taking on certain enemies very easy. So if you have an enemy that you would rather just jump on and then stay in the air for a little bit and then hit them again, Tanuki suit is your best friend. Number 5, the 5th tip. The fire flower is overrated in this game. It's been nerfed a little bit, so always keep in mind that you can only have 2 fireballs at any given time on the screen until they disappear or go over the edge. So basically, you have to be more aware of what you're aiming at and hope that you hit what you hit. So, I mean, if you're going to use the fire flower, be aware of the situation you're using it in. I can't tell you how many times I've taken damage in this game from, you know, missing 2 shots with the fire flower and them either hitting me or facing a fire brother and then hitting me with a fire attack. You know, the fire flower has been slightly nerfed. What you gonna do? Okay, that's the end of the general tips and tricks. The spoilers will be next, and I will be covering tips and tricks for the ultra hard Bowser Land and the special worlds, so stay tuned. If you don't want spoilers, don't watch the next clip, part of this vid. So, yeah. Okay, this is the spoiler section. If you're staying with us, I'll be covering tips and tricks to get the gold stars, and generally just tips and tricks to help you get all 5 of the sparkly stars over your profile that show that you are a masterful Mario gamer. Now, the first spoilerific tips and tricks is this. If you can avoid it, don't use the white Tanuki suit at all, ever. As I stated in a previous video when I reviewed this game, I have lost close to 100 lives, probably more than that by now. Part of it, not because I'm a terrible gamer, although some levels of this game are really friggin' hard, especially the last few worlds, but because I essentially refused to use the white Tanuki suit, and I just did trial and error to get better at it. Now, once you understand that the white Tanuki suit brings down your overall level score and makes it so that you don't get one of those pretty sparkly stars over your game profile or on the flag when you complete a level, which is kind of like a, you know, it kind of lets people know that, hey, you cheated. I haven't used the white Tanuki suit at all, and I never plan on doing it because, you know, Mario, you play through the pain. Much like life, you play through the pain. But on to the rest of the spoiler section. I didn't cover the 5th character because she has a stat that other characters don't have. She has abilities that other characters don't have. Rosalina is the unlockable character, and her special ability is she has an extra attack. She has the spin move from Super Mario Galaxy. Now, if you think about it, Rosalina is technically, if not the god of the Mario universe, a god, because the Lumas, those little star creatures, are basically, they create planets and galaxies and worlds. The Lumas call Rosalina their mother. So if the creatures that create the very fabric of the universe call you their mother, you must be a god. But basically, that's aside from the point. Rosalina has some very unique abilities. Namely, the spin move, which gives her an extra attack. It also gives her a bit of an extra height. But you have to remember something about Rosalina. She has an insanely high jump. Her jump is higher than Mario's, I believe. Okay? Not as high as Luigi, but higher than Mario. Her speed is faster than Peach, slower than Mario, slower than Luigi, slower than Toad. So she's kind of a middle. I mean, she's better than Peach in terms of like her combat abilities. She's great for offensive, for offensively minded characters because her spin move, even without any power ups whatsoever, is just you can destroy all types of stuff. Now, on to tips and tricks for the special worlds. I said earlier in the first part that the cat suit is very useful. In the special worlds, the cat suit is downright necessary in order to gold flag some of these flags. Yes, the cat suit. The cat suit also will enable you to traverse tough terrain without having to resort to dynamite jumping skills, especially in one of the harder levels where you have to deal with those blocks that change colors and disappear depending on where they are and like really quickly. Now, earlier in the game, there was a level similar to this where you had like a 3-second count. 1, 2, 3, switch. Later on in the game, you'll go through one where it's like constantly blinking back and forth. Very difficult. Now, the cat suit makes traversing parts of this level very easy. On top of this, you'll come to the end of a level where it's just like red and blue, switching back and forth constantly. If you line up your character with the line where they switch back and forth, and just stay right there, you won't have to worry about falling over and you'll get the star and all the coins. Much easier. The 8-direction lock-in is perfect for this type of level. Now, my final tip and trick is that if you find yourself not wanting to do what I'm doing, which is going through every level as each of the characters in order to gold flag it and get the final few stamps and open up the final world, my advice to you is this. Multiplayer. Because you just need to finish the level with the characters. You don't need to have to go back and do what I'm doing. So, this is the end of my spoiler section. I might make another one just all spoilers as I get further into the game, so stay tuned for that. Thank you and have a good day.